Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer, Mr. Anuar. And today we will be presenting our debate for our first assignment titled Foreign Direct Investment. Does it contribute to economic development or exploitation of the host countries? My name is Muhammad Rafi, the leader of this group, and these are my group members, Zulmajdy Naim, Safiy Iman, and Harendran. So our first point will be presented by Harendran, who will be presenting the proposition point. Harendran, take the stage.
Hi, my name is Harin. Hi, my name is Harendran. So, as a proposition, FDI does contribute to economic development. Uh, FDI helps African country on their economic growth. The new partnership of African Development (NEPAD) was founded on the premise that by combining reform, resource mobilization, and a conducive environment for FDI, the available capital could be increased to $64 billion. So my next point is the FDI impact on South Asian country. South Asian have potential to draw FDI because they have a variety of benefit to offer to international investors, including a sizable domestic market, low inflation, and expanding share of skilled workers, a growing entrepreneur class, and constantly developing banking system. So a global FDI inflows have a surge by more than 5 times in the last 2 decades. So my next point is FDI impact on Cambodia. After the first general election were held in Cambodia in 1993, the country attracted foreign direct investment. Since a few years ago, Cambodia has actively welcomed FDI activity. FDI inflows are seen one of the way to boost economic development and growth and help the transition process involving the both economic reform and business liberalization. So my last point is developing country attract more FDI. More than half of the private capital flows to developing nations were made up to FDI. Since debt crisis of the 1980s, the subsequent unrest in emerging economies, officials in developing nations have placed a greater priority on attracting foreign direct investment. For example, Suzuki in India is a great in 1981. Suzuki and the India government formed a joint venture to produce tiny cheap vehicles, and within 10 years, the brand had attracted a large number of components produced and had no previous that has no previously existed. So that's from me. Any questions?
Hi, yes, I would like to ask a question about your points. So you explained very well, so I applaud you. So do you believe that the contributions of FDI for economic growth are sustainable, as in, can they be sustained long term? Just try to explain how they are sustainable in the long term, please. Thank you.
Yes, FTech can play a crucial role in making progress towards economic growth and sustainable development. For example, FTA can support host economy, global trade integration by providing them with improved access to international markets, developing local export capabilities, and integrating them with global value chains. It also creates direct and indirect jobs through backward and forward linkages with small and medium-sized domestic companies. So, any question other than that?
Hi, Mr. Hari. Hi, F1. So, do you think developing countries offer any specific incentive or policies that encourage foreign investors to choose them over developed countries for FDI projects?
Yes, FDI prefer developing countries over developed countries because in developing countries, they can provide more job opportunity, create ease in international trade. They can also transfer technology and skills. And last but not least, they can boost nations' economic growth and development. So that's it from me, guys. I'll pass to the next presenter.
Hi, it's me again, and I'll be presenting for the first opposition points. So, number one, natural resource depletion. So, a study by ASA in 2018 revealed that the unrestrained extraction of non-renewable resources in the forests of sub-Saharan Africa resulted in a dramatic 6.63% until 6.63% and 5.74% reduction of forest cover per capita, which displaced and had adverse effects on the livelihoods of indigenous people in the area who depended on these resources to generate their day-to-day income. Number two, intellectual property piracy. This is a big problem. As explained by Chen et al., it suggests that this problem runs rampant in China, demanding the attention of both domestic and international entities. China leads the world in the manufacture and sale of counterfeit products, responsible for 75% of all seized counterfeit goods by the US Customs and Border Protection Agency in 2021, according to Daxu Consulting 2023. Moving on is labor exploitation. Research has concluded that the practices of aid for work and also food for work in countries such as Ethiopia and also Haiti have led to alarming poverty rates in the affected countries. As shown in the illustration within the report, Haiti suffers from one of the world's worst indigent poverty rates, with regions reaching 80% of the population living below the poverty line due to the insufficient wages they are provided for their work. Number three is environmental degradation. Evidence of this matter is abundantly available in the form of existing research. Studies by the likes of Lee et al. In 2022 suggest that foreign direct investment has a massive impact on the emission of CO2 gas in countries such as China and India, two of the world's leading countries in FDI. The graph in the report shows that these countries have had from anywhere from 150% to 200% raise in a per capita CO2 emissions due to these factors. And number four, actually, that is all from me. Next, if you have any questions, please ask.
Yes, Mr. Rafi, from the proposition side, I have a question. So, according to Fu and Balasubramaniam on 2005, in China, that a 1% increase in FDI raised employment growth by 3%. So, what's your opinion on this?
So, very good question. While I acknowledge that FDI does contribute towards employment, as you claimed, and as shown by the studies of Fu and Balasubramaniam, I must also reiterate that not all employment is gainful to the country. As I mentioned before, some FDI projects are wholly unethical and may lead to resource degradations, environmental damage, and labor exploitation. All these factors are a result of profit-first economics by the foreign companies, which do not take the impact of their projects on the host country into consideration. This can lead to harmful effects on the host countries, leading them to feel cheated out of their valuable assets. That is all for that question. Anybody else?
Hi, Mr. Rafi. I have some simple question. Why some host countries do not encourage FDI?
Well, young man, I believe that some of these countries do not encourage FDI because of several reasons: national security concerns, protectionism, and also the fear of exploitation. So, some countries may be cautious about allowing foreign companies to invest in certain sectors that are deemed critical for national security, such as defense, telecommunications, and energy. Governments may also adopt protectionist policies to shield domestic industries from foreign competition. Developing countries may also be concerned that FDI could lead to the exploitation of their resources and labor, resulting in unequal economic benefits. Thank you so much for the question. I'll be passing on to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Naeem. I will represent for the proposition number 2, and this will be the 4 points that I represent. The first point will be the impact of HFDI and VFDI on the economy. So this study find that both HFDI and VFDI have a positive and significant effect on economic growth in developed country. So however, the growth exchange effect of a HFDI is approximately 50% larger than VFDI in this set of development country. The second point will be the impact of a foreign direct investment on economic growth in a Eurozone country. So the FDI offer involved in transfer of advanced technology, managerial expertise, and also innovative practice from foreign investment to a host country. So this technology transfer can lead to the increased efficiency, productivity, and competitiveness in the domestic industry. and foster economic growth. Additionally, exposure to the foreign technology advance can stimulate a local firm to involve and develop a new product or process. For the third point is the impact of FDI on local wage increase. So FDI can lead to the wage spillover effect in the host country labor market. When foreign companies invest in developed country, they often bring advanced technology, management practice, and skill that can increase the productivity and efficiency of a local worker. As local employees gain exposed to upward pressure on wage, the increased demand for skilled and productivity worker can also create a competition among employees, driving wage higher in the local labor market. The last point will be FDI as catalyst for economic growth. So this study revealed that a positive and significant relationship between economic growth and the inflow of the foreign direct investment in Nigeria. So these findings suggest that FDI can act as a catalyst for economic growth in a country. As the foreign capital investment in various sectors of the Nigerian economy, it can stimulate economic activity, create a job, and contribute to the overall expansion of national input and productivity. That's all. Do you have any question?
Well, yes, I do, young man. So since you went easy on me, I'll go easy on you. So you say that FDI can positively impact wages in host countries. But one of the big problems of FDI is the exploitation of cheap labor. How can host countries stop this from happening? I would like to know your thoughts and opinions on this matter.
My opinion is host country can address the issue of the cheap labor exploitation by implementing the enforcement labor law and regulation that protect worker rights, guarantee fair wage, and provide a safe working condition. Also, promoting openness, supporting collective bargaining, and monitoring the FDI operation may help the private and minimize the abuse of the cheap labor. Next question.
I have one, Mr. Naim. So, based on your point of view, so how does FDI affect local wages in developing countries, as per stated on your journal or article?
Thanks for the question. From my point of view, I think that FDI can lead to the job creation, increase the demand for skilled labor and technology transfer, which can result in a higher wage and better working condition for local workers. Thanks for the question. I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, it's me again. Hi everyone, my name is Safiy Iman. So I will not waste any time. So we will start with my first point, which is loss of control over domestic assets. So in every stage of the life cycle of the foreign investment, from the entry to the withdrawal to its affiliates from foreign national, we contend that multinational firms take a complete perspective of host country institution and take into account of all regulatory element that may have a consequence on the operation of their business. So we move on to the next point, which is local resource exploitation. So exploitation of local resources for FDI is a very important for the factor in all economic activities. On the other hand, the Industrial Revolution has influenced the world and rendered it more necessary than ever before. For international and local internship, the unskilled labor that will be affected by the 4.0 revolution is a not little, and the possibility of being rejected is extremely significantly high. Since automated machine will replace humans soon, and nowadays most people is rely on AI or artificial intelligence machines. So as for the result, can FDI business utilize and grow high quality in human resource? We move on to the next point, which is profit repatriation. Repatriation of profits is a productivity and salaries may increase as a result of foreign direct investment. So as of foreign-owned businesses repatriate their profits, it is frequently accompanied with primary income defect. Thus, it is unclear how FDI affect well-being. And especially good example of the condition Furthermore, as a developing nation, increasingly integrate in the global economy, they tend to attract more capital from outside sources, especially foreign direct investment. Last but not least, the welfare of a nation is frequently seen as being positively impacted by foreign direct investment. So we are now at the last point, which is environmental effect. So countries that are being developing have maintained strong rate of development despite the consequences of the financial crisis, which is proof of the application of increasing regional cooperation, free trade agreement, and capital inflow. Globalization has accelerated economic progress in established, rising, and developing nation. However, it has also brought up new problems such as environmental degradation and global warming. Over the last few decades, academic legislatures and governing bodies have given the relationship between environmental degradation, consumption of energy, and economic growth more than attention. So that's all for parts from me. So we will proceed with the Q&A session.
So, hi, Mr. Safi. So, for your point that you said FDI effect environmental. Okay, from a proposition, I have a question that in Vietnam, the Lego group also said that they've been planting 50,000 trees in 3 years to compensate for the vegetation that will be removed during construction of Lego factory. So, what's your opinion on this fact?
So that's an excellent question. Excellent and responsible action in the direction of environmental protection is the Lego Group's intention to plant 50,000 trees over the course of the 3 years to make up for vegetation damage during the construction of their Lego facility. So by making an effort to plant trees, people support ecosystem recovery, biodiversity preservation, and carbon emission reduction. So this displays a dedication to sustainability and corporate social responsibility, and highlighting the company's initiative to lessen its environmental effect and promote goodwill among stakeholders. To address other parts of the environmental imprint and provide a more substantial and long-lasting solution to the world environmental problems, the Lego Group must provide openness, responsibility, and a wider sustainability plan. Hope
Okay,
this helps.
from the position side, I have a question. So, given the risk of financial leakage and repatriation of the profit by foreign investor, what strategy can host country adopt to encourage the reinvestment of FDI income the local economy, ensuring that benefit generated from FDI contribute more significantly to the economic development of the host country?
Thank you for your questions. So, to maximize the advantages of FDI for host nation, it is essential to promote reinvestment of FDI profit in the local economy. So, by implementing certain tactic, host nation may encourage foreign investor to reinvest their earning domestically, greatly boosting the nation's economic development. Thank you. That's all from us. We will proceed to the last point.
So, just to conclude on the points explained throughout this debate, our group has explored the complex relationship between foreign direct investment and the impact it has on economic development in host countries. We chose to focus on this topic because it has a lot of complex issues that are currently being discussed by economists that are very prevalent in our field of international business. As we navigated these arguments and evidence from both of these sides, it becomes evident that FDI's impact is far from black and white, rather, a complicated interplay of both benefits and challenges that require careful consideration and thoughtful policy approaches. Moving forward, policymakers must adopt a holistic approach to make new laws that also take into consideration the host countries, communities, and environments. when attracting and managing FDI. To conclude, FDI's impact on economic development and the potential for exploitation is a nuanced matter that requires careful examination and proactive measures. That is all from us. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our debate. Peace.